Hello, family. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So, today I am going to be talking about some baby essentials. In my intro video, I mentioned that I had a baby. Well, she is 9 months old, and I thought I would talk about some baby must-haves. So, this is going to be a two-part series. So, today I am going to be talking about essentials for babies 0 to 6 months, and then I will do another video on essentials for babies 9 to 12 months. And also, if you are new here, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. If you're interested in content on lifestyle, motherhood and faith, then make sure you click that subscribe button and also click that notification button as well, so that whenever I put out new videos, you do get notified. All right, so let's get into it. The number one item on my list today are onesie. And onesies are no-brainers for a lot of parents because they are comfortable and they're just easy to put on. Now, I know that first-time parents get excited about getting their children dressed up. Trust me, I did too. But what I did notice was that I spent a lot of time at home, especially during those first few couple of months, and so onesies are just very easy to wear. And the great thing is that depending on whenever you have your child, whether in the winter time or the summertime, there are onesies that are long sleeves for those winter times, and those ones also come with mittens that you can use to cover the baby's hands, and those are very helpful because I had those individual baby mittens, and honestly they used to fall off and they went missing. So it's really great that you have those onesies that do come with those pullover mittens and are perfect for the winter time. And if you do have your child in the warmer season, they have the short sleeve onesies, very comfortable, easy to just get your child out if you need to change their diapers. So definitely onesies are a must. Now, the second thing on my list are diapers. Diapers are no-brainers. Everybody needs diapers, unless you're also using like maybe the cloth diapers, which is cool, but most people will use disposable diaper. But the type of diaper that you use really can make a difference. I know that most people are familiar with the recommended brand or the most popular brand, which is Pampers. But what I've noticed about Pampers is that, especially for my two children, my first child and my daughter, is that they tend to get wet really quickly, and this can be very uncomfortable for babies who are trying to sleep. And so let's say they had a little wet diaper, they're gonna wake up just because they're really uncomfortable, and so those diapers are not as absorbent as they need to be. And consider this: if your child has a blowout, trust and believe that their outfits are gonna get really stained. I have found that the Huggies Snug and Dry diaper works for my kids, especially my daughter, who I noticed had more blowouts than my son. I noticed that her clothes didn't get as stained as they did when I was using the Pampers diapers. So for me, the Huggies Snug and Dry diaper really worked great. So if that's something that you're interested in, or that you're considering the type of diaper to use, I would recommend the Huggies Snug and Dry. Try it out and see if it works for you. More absorbent, I would say, and which means more sleep for your babies, and they're more comfortable, and also potentially less clothes that you have to, change often. So that's my second recommendation as far as a baby essential. Now, the third item on my list is a snot sucker. If you're not familiar with this, they're the items that you use to help bring out snot from your babies. I'm telling you, these are lifesavers. When I had my first son, Daniel, I had him in the winter time, and so he had a lot of running nose. And we had the snot sucker from the hospital, but let me tell you, those things were hard on his nose, and it was hard to get anything out. But when I had my daughter, I came across the Frida snot sucker, and honestly, that thing helped my daughter. It was very easy for me to get snot out, and it wasn't too abrasive on her nose. It was very gentle, and so she always would allow me to be able to help her suction the snot out. So that is something that most people might not think about until you're in that situation. So if that's where you are at, I definitely would recommend that Frida snot sucker. Now the thing is, they do have two different types. So you can get the manual ones, and they also have the electric ones as well. So whatever works for you, the Frida snot sucker, I highly recommend. So the fourth item on my list is actually for breastfeeding moms, because I breastfed my 2 children, Daniel, and I am currently breastfeeding my daughter, Grace. And so what I wanted to talk about is the type of breastfeeding pump, because that can also determine if you're gonna have a really good breastfeeding experience or not. With my son Daniel, I did not have a good experience because I felt like pumping time meant being stuck in one position. I couldn't really move around, and so I didn't really enjoy that. It felt like a punishment, honestly. But luckily, when I was pregnant with my daughter Grace, I did come across the LV pump, which is what I used to pump while I was breastfeeding her, and that worked better for me. It was very portable, and it is wireless, so I could move around with it. The great thing I like was that even while I was working, I had to start work early with my daughter. I could literally put that pump in and get on a client call, and you would not hear a thing with that LV pump. In fact, I was able to pump a freezer load of breast milk. I recently stopped breastfeeding her directly, but baby girl is still getting her frozen breast milk that I've been able to store. So the LV pump really worked for me. And so if you are looking into the type of breast pump, I highly recommend the Helby pump. I have also heard that the Willow pump is great, so I'm going to be sure to link those down in the description box if you are interested. Now, the next thing on my list is just an accompaniment to the breast pump for breastfeeding moms, which are vitamin supplements. If you are breastfeeding your child, it is important that they are getting vitamin D supplements. Interestingly enough, one of the only vitamins that breastfeed does not have is those vitamin D. And so if you are breastfeeding, it's good to make sure that you're giving them those drops. It helps them with their bones. Now, I'm not sure why, but I didn't remember to start off my son earlier enough. And so when I went to the doctor, they were like, are you giving this child vitamin D? I'm like, no. They're like, no, you have to make sure you're giving them the vitamin D supplements, because it helps their bones, especially in those winter times when their bones can get really, really brittle. It helps to make the breastfeeding babies, their bones strong and healthy. So make sure you are using those vitamin D supplements. It's good for their growth. And then the last thing on my list for new time moms, or just moms that are having additional kids and you weren't aware of this, is a bedside station or a bedside cart. Trust me, those first couple of days when you just had the baby, they can be stressful. The last thing you want to do is be walking back and forth to get this item, to get those items. So one thing I love about those bedside station is that you can have them next to your bed. I had my baby with me in my room in her bassinet next to me, and so I could feed her and just nurse her or do whatever. She was right next to me, especially at night when I needed to feed her. I was happy that I had my bedside cart with me because I had everything I needed: diapers, wipes, extra change of clothes, even my breastfeeding pump, the milk storage bags. I had all those things with me, and sometimes I had snacks and water, so if I needed to just replenish myself, all those things were close by. So those are probably something, the bedside cart is probably something that one might not think about like initially, but it does save you the hassle of having to get up every single time to grab an item. You can have it next to you, and you have more time to rest and just snuggle with your baby, or just bond with your baby if you're in the room, or even if you're outside the room, you can always have one close by. I think it's very helpful. Now, with that said, those are my 6 baby essentials, baby must-haves. As you can see or tell from this list, they're not really anything special, and that's because honestly, taking care of baby does not take that much. Once you have the major essentials that they need, food, their diapers are changed, they are carefree and will go straight to sleep. So I hope that you found all these items very helpful. If you do have any recommendation, or if you have items that have worked for you, please make sure that you put them down in the comment section below. I would love to hear about them. And if you also have recommendations for must-have for babies 6 to 12 months old, also put those down in the comments section below. And with that said, I would like to thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification button. With that said, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great one. Bye.